Or not, we've seen Junior do this many times where he just goes to the top and everybody follows.
Oh, around goes the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Harvick spins around. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s involved. Brad Keselowski involved. Smoke coming out of the 32 of Matt DiBenedetto.
I blew a tire, I'm fine.
It blew a tire. That's what it looked like. The 4 just snap spun like a tire went down right in the middle of traffic. You see the 88 bouncing along the backstretch wall. That tells me that something's probably broken in the front suspension.
Take another look.
At about 190 mile an hour, you see the 4-car wiggle, turns around quickly right in front of her. No, nothing anybody can do. All the smoke, can't see. Just hope you get through it.
I'm amazed more cars aren't in an accident like that, Rick. As tidily as their bunch going through the corner. Right here, you're on board with Kevin Harvick, middle of the corner, wide open.
88's going with you. Hey, easy here. Blew a tire or something. Hold your brake.
Just a snap spin, and then the reaction behind him. But even the spotter in an accident, calm as could be on the radio.
Calm as he could be. Stay on the brakes.
Oh,
that's how quick that happened.
Keep coming,
nothing
buddy.
you can
Keep
do.
coming. We're in it, Greg. Might be okay here. There's still wreckage back there in your mirror there. Just flip it around here. We'll take a look at it.
Can't get off the wall.
No, I bet the right front tie rod or something in the right front suspension is broken. You see, he's turning the wheel left, but the car is going right. So the car spins around right there. It sandwiches up to the 88. The 5 of Casey Kane makes an evasive maneuver, goes to the bottom. How about the 41 of Kurt Busch? A hard left to miss Casey Kane. Another hard left to miss the spinning 2 of Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, I don't think Kane or Keselowski ever hit anything. I think they're going to be okay if they can get around without damaging their car.
You know, that's the thing about having that smaller rear spoiler.
Oh, turn one, hard in the wall. One car crashes and rides the rim. I believe a tire went down on Kevin Harvick's car, and it shot straight into the wall in the short chute between the quad oval and turn 1.
Boy, he was running in 6th spot.
Yeah, that happened early before he ever even got to turn 1.
Man, he hammered that thing good.
Stay high, 51 again. Nothing out back.
You can just see it come up through the hood.
Yep.
Nothing you can do there.
Hold your brake, hold your brake. Talk to me when you can.
Bam.
You know, this front straightaway is just one big long curve, so that tire doesn't get much of a rest here, especially if, depending on how much camber and the type of air pressure you have there. A lot of load on that right front.
4 to go this time.
4 to go and 3
Oh, it's Boyer in the wall, hard.
Hard wreck.
He stays out.
More wrecks down here, turn 4, big wreck.
Harvick in trouble.
Keep going. Keep going. We can hit a damn thing.
3 of the 4 Childress cars in trouble in the closing laps.
Boys, get 4 tires.
Boyer's car, the front end destroyed. Remember, we saw Kyle Busch dropping way down to the bottom, passing cars almost on the apron. That's his number 18 against Harvick.
Well, you can see already the left front of Harvick's tire where they made contact. The whole left side. And here comes Kevin back.
Whoa.
Gives the 18 a big shot in the rear. And here comes Boyer down on the bottom, and they get 3 wide right here. And this is when I knew it was going to go bad.
It just would not work. Kane drops the inside as they go 3 wide behind him, and Boyer takes a wild ride into the safer barrier. And Kyle Busch turned Harvick around after they had made contact half a lap before.
Yeah, I think something not quite right about that. I'd have to look at that another time or two.
Let's see it from our DirecTV blimp.
You see them back here. They get all bottled up off turn 4. 3 wide right there. Lots of contact. Boyer gets into the side of his teammate Harvick.
You can see the 18 and the 29 hit again there, and Kyle Busch just goes dead left and pretty much hooks Kevin Harvick in the 29.
Fix up. Inside. Inside. 39's inside. Inside. All right, he's up here now. Inside. Very low. Inside. 33's inside here. He's overheating inside. Middle. Oh, we just got spun. 18. Hold her straight. Keep going. We can hit a damn thing.
Now let's ride with Jeff Gordon through this.
Middle three. Clear high, one down low, keep coming. Bam. Corner, watch this, get down. One down low, you're clear. Clear high, get on the track. Corner, clear.
Don't do anything. Trouble down here. A car's trying to get in the pit.
Hard in the wall.
That's Bill Elliott.
Little E, Dale Earnhardt.
And Kevin Harvick. A very hard crash for Elliott.
Oh, yeah.
The first serious incident, or rather for Earnhardt, the first serious incident of the day. And, excuse me, it was not Bill Elliott, it was Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I just saw the red and white, and I thought it was Bill Elliott.
And it was hard, Darrell.
It was. That was an incredible impact.
Field coming around to take the caution flag at lap 228.
Boy, that's on the left side, driver's side. I tell you, I don't like the looks of that, guys.
The window net's down.
That's a sign we look for. Telling safety workers I'm okay. I'm frustrated, but I'm okay.
No, guys, he's laying over there, and I mean that's a hard lick.
And Kevin Harvick, the second car involved.
I think Dale Jr. was trying to get in the pits, and or somebody was. There we go.
Almost like maybe Kevin Harvick was slowing down trying to get in the pits. 29 car.
Oh, that's it. I'm telling you, that is
a brutal hit.
It is.
Kyle Petty just squeezes through there. Has to go to pit road to take evasive action. So does Jeff Gordon.
That I don't like the looks of that.
All the cars have now taken the caution flag, and rescue workers come to the aid of Harvick and Earnhardt Jr. You're exactly right, Darrell. Harvick had slowed. He was trying to get to pit road, and Earnhardt Jr. going under him. The two collided. He's awake, alert, talking to the rescue personnel.
He's I just knocked the breath out of him, I guess. I tell you, they've done such a great job with the inside of these cars and the head and neck restraint systems and everything else.
See Kevin Harvick out, his car.
He's just got. I think he's got the breath knocked out of him. Plus. I hope that's all it is.
20 laps to go. Fifth caution of the day from the Bud Cam.
Here he is, and he sees all of a sudden there's Harvick on the outside. Oh boy.
Oh wow.
See his hands on the steering wheel.
Harvick in the wall.
Yeah, that's a.
Whoa!
And that is a big hit for Kevin. He is on the backstretch, just on the exit of turn number 2. As caution comes out for the 5th time, he was running 4th when this happened, guys. Trying to get it refired. It had the appearance of a down right front. Man. And this was one of the cars coming into the day. Looked like he had an odds-on shot for the win. Had led laps tonight.
There was an opening in the back straightaway, and that car just jumped out into it.
They rode the wall there for a while and then just hopped out there, but that was well after the impact. Let's see what happened.
Oh, man, is this unusual for Kevin Harvick. He just loses it himself. unless he had a right rear tire or a right front going down. Now watch his car. Oh, it jumps out in that outside lane. And that is the entry of the opening on the back straightaway.
Here's where he loses it. Loose off the corner and then gets both ends of the car. And there's no saving that now, Rick.
No, there's no saving it. And Kevin was squeezing the gas. I mean, he was trying to get all there was to get. And, you know, again, changing just right side tires changes how the car drives, particularly in the first 5-10 laps.
Well, and he had to go. He was running fourth. We're coming up on 10 to go here.
Take a look at this right here. It's got the wheels turned to the right, and the car just jumps over in the opening. It's like, where am I at?
Jumping to safety right there after all that. One more look at it, and then Menard and Carl taking evasive action down to the inside.
Let's not forget Kevin Harvick had a problem with his neck earlier in the day, and then, you know, hopefully that didn't compound it.
That's a good point, Ricky.
And Casey has to hit pit road.
Whoa, Jimmy Johnson just turned Jeff Burton. They both go around. Turn one, Burton in the wall, Johnson spinning to the bottom. And Harvick spins into David Reagan. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my. I think Jimmy was just trying to make a pass here. He got down underneath of him. That's Jeb, yeah. I think Jimmy's a little frustrated with his car and that accident, and he wasn't running like he had been. He had a shot at winning this thing, got that taken away, and poor old Jeb Burton. By the way, has been in a lot of situations, precarious situations tonight.
Just
and look,
bam, nowhere for Harvick to go.
My
David Reagan
goodness.
sitting right in the middle of the racetrack.
There's the start of it. It carries down toward turn one. David Reagan all piled up, and I'm curious to see how Kevin Harvick, unable to get around as the others leaders did.
You know, I think he could have been in a blind spot right behind those cars in front of him. Let's see what he sees.
Back it down, back it down.
See, can't see, can't see, can't see.
Right here, easy.
That's exactly what it was. He was right behind Matt Kenseth, started to go low. When he came out, there was the 18 car.
Kevin Harvick has been running at the finish of 81 consecutive NASCAR Sprint Cup races, the longest streak, and that streak is over.
Hang on, folks. This is going to hurt.
Keep it straight, keep it straight.
Had all the look that a right front tire just went soft.
Definitely a right front. Blew a right front. You feel so helpless. Thing just falls down and takes off straight to the wall, and there's nothing you can do.
Harvick was running 12th.
Now, I know that didn't look like a big, so, oh, well, he didn't hit it that hard. Folks, just remember what we've said all night. Going 200 mile an hour going off in that corner.
Trouble.
Newman, Keselowski, Hamlin, Harvick, Truex, and Schrader.
Truex, big loser here. He had raced his way into the top 10 in points where he was running earlier. Really hard to tell. I mean, it looked like the 11 was slow getting in the corner.
Looked like he tried to get up there. I thought maybe the 55 got a little bit loose getting there, and Jimmy was trying to maybe avoid that somehow. Okay. 11 and 55 there.
Yeah.
Tire down on the 11, right front maybe after that contact.
Definitely a stack up. Oh man, there's a lot of good cars got torn up here.
Stop, but there's contact. The 41 gets into him. He couldn't see. Also piling into them.
The 78's in it as well. The 78, 88 is backwards on the backstretch as well.
They were sideways as the 4 was sliding sideways. Now there's more contact made as the 78 and the 88 trying to get going the right direction. On the last lap of the stage, the 78, Martrex Jr. gets caught up in it.
Austin Dillon and Kevin Harvick were battling for position, and couldn't tell from that view if there was contact or not, but Kevin Harvick goes around.
And you see the smoke, as you mentioned, Rick, basically blinding on the backstretch. None of these cars can see as they come through.
So the 33 got in the back of the 78.
Wasn't a lot of damage to the right front of the 78, but then right here, so the 88 and the 78 are both going to try to get going in the same direction or get going in the correct direction. They both put it in reverse. Boom. Damage on both cars.
way out of shape was the 48. Little bumping and banging as they go into turn 1. Jimmy Johnson got into the side of the 4 of Harvick. Smoke now out of the left rear of Harvick after that contact.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson got a run on the 4, got inside of him. Kevin Harvick didn't want to give him a big lane to let him get back up on the racetrack. And now it looked like they made some contact. The left rear quarter panel is definitely rubbing on the 4 car.
Now, when he wiggled like that, was he trying to move the quarter panel out? Could you do that with wiggling the car?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. He just wasn't making sure it wasn't flat. He was just trying to feel the car out. Oh, there it is.
Around goes the 4.
Hold the brake, hold the brake. Stay up there.
A lot of damage to the back of that car.
And this is what we talked about. This is what we said at the top of the show. The pressure of these decisions.
Real slow here. Real slow.
Major damage to the back of the 4 for Kevin Harvick.
Hurt pretty bad here, guys.
It all started on the restart. We've talked about restarts, the restart zone, how important it is to accelerate out of the restart zone. Well, right here, as they leave the restart zone, the 4 doesn't get the greatest of runs. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson goes underneath them. Jimmy tries to come back up at the racetrack, Jeff, but the 4 tries to hold him down there.
Yeah, it looked like to me the 4 got a good start. It's just the 48 got a better start, and the 22 was pushing him. You know, you get a guy, here you go, see the 22, he's pushing him. Actually turns him left.
Jimmy forces his way back on the racetrack, and the 4, you see, he doesn't want to give him the lane. He can move up to the middle, but Kevin Harvick tries to force him down. We saw it smoke for a few laps. We wondered if it was getting better, and this is the result. As Kevin Harvick turns down into turn 3, the left rear tire is down. There's nothing at that point Kevin Harvick can do. Unfortunately, now this is a major, major hurdle for this 4 car in race 1 of the playoffs.
Kevin Harvick down to the apron.
And he was running in the 6th position, but he got into the wall hard.
No caution.
Wait, man. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm just telling you right now, with all these cars running this close together, I'm not surprised they haven't wadded up a bunch of them.
The rear end is moved over to the left.
Yeah, that's a hard hit.
Yeah, they're going to have to go to the garage area.
Stepped out.
Floppy jawed.
Here's what happened to Harvick. And now caution is out.
I mean, that is a hard lick right rear and right front. The caution is out, and I'll tell you who's loving that caution flag is Ryan Newman in the 12 car. He was just out in front of leader Dale Earnhardt Jr. He was 2 laps down, so now he'll only be 1.
There's a look at Harvick's crash from his teammate Jeff Burton. Oh, wow.
That thing just got a little loose.
And around goes the 4. Kevin Harvick involved in this one, as is the 23 of David Reagan. Once again, chase implications. They stay green, and now caution. Now the caution comes out. Kevin Harvick, David Reagan. 2 cars involved in this 4-car incident.
See Paul Menard, he had all 4 tires, got into the side of the 6. Now he's up the racetrack. Has to try to find a way back onto the racetrack. A lot of dirt on the track. Drivers can't see. They all get stacked up. Now it's a chain reaction.
More than 4 cars damaged. 34 of Chris Buescher was also involved. That's the 34, the yellow and blue on the inside up against the Armco barrier. Riding along with Kevin Harvick.
All cleared right there. Single file to the 44, 1 back. 27 foot of smoke here.
The red flag now out. Big contact there again.
Yeah,
it's all smoke.
Kevin Harvick could not see the start of that wreck. Had no idea anything was going on.
The 34 of Chris Buescher, after the win at Pocono last week, was sitting in pretty good position because David Reagan had had an issue earlier, but now involved in this most recent incident.
For everybody on our Busch team, they did a great job today. We were battling some brake issues, just trying to maintain the brakes, but they got me great track position and up in the front. And then coming to the yellow that one time, I got in the speedy dry and the front tire locked up. Slid the left front and we had to pit, but we had it where we needed to be. We just got back there and got tore up.
Uh-oh, the 4 car is smoking. All of a sudden I see smoke out of the back of the 4 car.
Lots of it from the right rear.
You know what it is? I think Larry, do you smell the gear?
Smoking pretty good, Kevin.
Right front.
It is coming out of the right front. But it's up.
No.
And he pounds the wall, and caution is out.
They took the 1 and the 2 and the 4, all of them out in the same. I mean, the 2 rammed into the back of the 1. They couldn't stop. There's oil on the track.
He just blew up right in front of me. Sorry, guys. That's just the next comment.
Thing's on fire.
Going to the garage.
A lot of fire in that car.
Might be some under the helmet, too.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I mean, you know, with the hub last week, and now look at this thing. I mean, it's blazing. I'd be aborting here pretty quick.
Yeah, he needs to stop this race car.
I wouldn't drive up in the middle of this crowd.
Stop. Get the hell out of there.
The fire truck has followed him to a halt in the garage. Kevin's going to climb out as they extinguish the blaze under hood. The smoke started and then got big from the right front. And in the oil, Harvick hits the wall. Here's McMurray, who slows up.
Come on. Starting to fall off here. Come on. Right front. Go low.
Oh, trouble. Kevin Harvick has hit it hard.
Yeah, that looks like it could have been a problem with the tire.
And also the 2-car of Kurt Busch involved. 2 contenders. Hard impacts into the concrete.
Yeah, that's some hard wrecks right there, both of those guys. Yeah, that's obviously taking both of their chances away, but it'll be interesting to see.
Go to the garage there.
If this was a mistake or just racing, or did we have a tire issue there, because that was a big chance. Jamie?
The garage, if you can get there.
You hear Kevin Harvick talking to his crew. He said that was a blown right front. He said the steering wheel's all the way around in a circle, guys. Tough day for Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, Jamie, he did hit that wall very hard. He was coming off the corner. Actually, it looks like Kurt Busch lost the car and then hit the right front of Kevin's car, maybe blowing that tire out, but they both hit the wall pretty hard.
Yeah, they did. So this wasn't a tire issue right there, other than maybe the right rear just being worn on Kurt Busch's car, and that creating the problem.
Right along with Kevin Harvick's onboard camera, so you watch the 2-car get out of shape.
Outside, we got
that car, Kurt Busch, did turn sideways real quick on him, like it's an unexpected thing.
Yeah, and talking to these drivers about how long did it take you to figure out you had a problem, they said it just happens all of a sudden. You're going along fine, and then the next thing you know, you're losing grip with either the rear end or the front end, whichever tire is going, and that looks like that could have been the case there, and unfortunately for Kevin Harvick, just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He just a victim in this one.
Delana Harvick, his wife, that'll be a helpless feeling standing there knowing that he hit very, very hard. You see the car trying to get down pit road. They want to make repairs and try to get him back out. All these valuable points, losing here with this kind of impact early on in a race at Indianapolis.
Yeah, we know these leaders are coming down pit road this time, the ones that did not pit last time. But after seeing some of this, I wonder if some of the guys that pitted on lap 5 or 6 are going to come back again.
It's going to be a huge chance because they don't know when that next caution is coming, Andy, just like you said, and that's going to be a huge gamble that they're going to take early in this race, knowing that they still don't have this problem solved at this point in time.
Yellow flag is officially out, and this is the first competition yellow, and it doesn't really help Kevin Harvick much. Of course, this wasn't a tire issue on his own. He came in 9th in the point standings. Remember, we are 7 races away from the chase.
Johnson going into the infield. Let's go upstairs. Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, and Darrell Walton.
Coming off turn 2, Jimmy Johnson leading the race. There's Kevin Harvick, who is tucked up tight behind Jimmy Johnson. The 2 made contact. Johnson went around. Mark Martin went to the outside wall. There is Rusty Wallace, crashed to the infield, as is Joe Nemechek. Things got too close in turn 2.
Yeah, there's this bump drafting thing that's going around, and it's gotten out of hand. Bump drafting down here, you do down a straightaway, in a straight line, and it seems like everybody's got the idea you can do it just anywhere you want to. It's laid into him right there and just gets him loose. Mark has nowhere to go. Everybody starts checking up a little bit, and hello.
Boy, Jeff Burton, the 31, and Tony Stewart, the 20, just makes it through, as well as Bobby Labonte in the 18.
48 car to the garage.
And that will mean that Jimmy Johnson will have to trot out a backup car and start at the back of the 500 with a lot of these drivers here. Whoa, Rusty! Another wild backstretch ride at Daytona for Rusty Wallace.
You said that about Johnson's car. It didn't look hurt. When I saw it,
okay.
Let's see if he hits anything, because I think he may just spin it down into the infield. Might have a little cosmetic to that left rear, but I don't think he ever hits anything.
You're right, Darrell. So that will remain their primary car if there's no
I don't even think it's
damage that's not visible.
Right.
But wow.
That thing, the roof flaps came up, kept it on the ground. You saw the rear tires hopping up and down, but the rest of these guys were not so lucky.
And those acres of pavement back there coming off turn 2 to the inside helped keep it on the ground. How many times in his career has Rusty been in the air on the backstretch here?
Some guys, Daytona is just not good to them.
Let's ride with Kevin Harvick and listen.
What happens, Mike, is you get a run on a guy. You get a good run on him, and you know you can't lift. And you're hoping by the time you get to him that over there you're off the corner. Listen to that thing crash.
Dick Berggren.
Johnson, what? And what trouble, Kevin Harvick into the outside wall. And the caution is out.
Sore battery, guys. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm fine.
You heard the update from Doc on Harvick just a minute ago. From Kevin on the radio that he's fine, but into the wall hard in that 33 car.
Yeah, and you can get it. You can hear that in Kevin's voice.
If you go into the garage from a tow truck, it won't move. I mean, it freaking killed it. Steering column's twisted.
It's like a right front tire went down. Wow, that is a pretty hard lick.
Side of Clint Boyer as they go to turn 11, move Jimmy Johnson up to third now, and Boyer goes around. And he gets clobbered by Zach Harvick. Nowhere to go. Contact in 11. And look at him, the track position. You continue to lose it. And finally, Boyer able to pull away, and Harvick's left front is crushed.
Yeah, and that is so frustrating for Kevin, especially when you feel that the pit stop may have put you in that position.
Yeah, he's a 48 go in, he just gets nudged, and then Jamie gets in there, and Jamie's into the 15 and just goes ahead and takes him out of the way.
Yeah, and then Harvick had no place to go.
But yes, yeah.
And Boyer, you see him get back in the 48 here, but he got off the 48. If you watch Jamie gets in him, and then kind of finishes him off here.
Yes. Yeah, and he's got a flat left rear. Left rear.
Yeah.
The 15 car had a flat left rear at that point.
Oh, there they go. Win again. Oh, there they go.
I told you, he can't do that.
Didn't make it that time. Caution is out.
Here comes another car spinning off.
Randy LaJoy, 34.
And that's all because he locked it down.
Spin and save, though, for LaJoy, as this wreck is still going on.
I'm not so sure it's going on purpose, still going on purpose.
I think one of them's throttle's hung. I'm not sure which one.
I would have guessed the 21.
I don't think it's unhung yet.
Now, they're both stuck because, remember, it's been raining here for 2 days and 2 nights.
He just got the left. The guy on the inside has to cut so hard left to stay off of the car on the outside that when it wobbles a little bit, he's got no room. There's no forgiving there.
The number 57 driver, crew chief, and spotter have been invited to the NASCAR hauler after this race for discussion. See the car twitch there. But Darrell, just that one little twitch by the 57 is all it took.
Yeah, but there's just not enough racetrack there. That's the
second to probably outside the top 5, it looks like,
or possibly into the fence, because it's getting wild. It got a car around,
and in the wall hard goes Kevin Harvick.
Harvick hits the wall hard.
I blew a left rear tire.
You just knew, Darrell, it was going to be one of those restarts.
Well, when you saw him go down into first turn down there,
right front.
I think he said he blew that. I think he blew that left rear tire.
Left rear.
But was it from contact before he got to the corner?
That's the whole thing. These splitters will cut a left rear tire down in a heartbeat.
There's his wife, Delana, looking for the replay.
Here it is. Here's the restart. And Harvick's on the outside lane, about 12 cars back.
Carl Edwards goes down under David Reagan, and they're 3 wide entering the corner. Reagan shows 24 up the hill, and there goes Kyle Busch. Where is the 29? He's back in there somewhere. He must have gotten some contact.
Yep. A little further back. Here he comes into turn. Oh,
no,
boy.
no.
Yep.
But
Left is already down.
I guarantee you, yeah, that tire's down before he ever gets to the corner, but it's got, you can tell it's been rubbed on. Something's been up against it because all the letter's gone off of it.
Here's another look. Left side of your screen is Harvick. Oh, Allmendinger got in.
Yeah, but I think even still.
I think it was already down before the.
Yeah.
You could see it starting to smoke.
Yeah. That happened coming off turn 2, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Allmendinger did not cut the tire down.
Here he is back. Here he is back here. And there's where you get your tire cut down, right there.
Sam Hornish got into him.
Jr. in
Pow! You saw it just blow out right there.
Elliott Sadler had ridden Sam Hornish up the racetrack. He didn't just drive up into Harvick.
So splitter, you can see it. Just see it stick out on the right front of all these cars. If you get that thing positioned just right up against somebody's left rear tire, it'll cut it down.
Wow, it's a hard hit.
Bank $75,000 here.
Oh, got a car around, several of them. Kevin Harvick, this is the big one, boys. We have it here every year. Looks like about 10 cars involved.
Casey Kane, Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards.
Michael.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. went through the grass and might have missed it. Kevin Harvick hit the
We just got a little right front, guys.
Dale Jarrett trailed the wreck, as did Matt Kenseth. Nemechek's in it, Michael Waltrip, Martin Truex, and Terry Labonte.
And the best I can tell, Mike and Darrell, every one of those cars right there, they were in the back of the pack. They were all cars that came to pit road.
Kevin Harvick's car is demolished.
And Harvick climbs out. Terry Labonte, window net down. Flames out the tailpipe of little consequence. He's done for the night. Harvick's car is junk, and so is Nemechek's. Stewart is not going to give up on it, but he hasn't seen all that damage yet.
That's a mad crash car right there.
And that's a couple of mad drivers right there as well.
Yeah, something happened up here off the turn 4. Somebody got sideways or got into somebody. I couldn't tell exactly what happened. We'll take a look at it here maybe in a minute.
Just remember, these two drivers had an altercation in the Gatorade 150 back in Daytona as well with each other.
Joe Nemechek and Kevin Harvick not pleased. This is always a race of great excitement, fever pitch, and that includes the temper and frustration level as well.
High expectations. You come in here with high expectations, that creates big disappointments.
The red flag is out, and the rule here under red flag conditions is different than your normal points race.
Yes, these guys can work on their cars under red flag.
Casey Kane limping down pit road. That took out just about everybody. Gordon.
Well, Darrell, let's have a look.
Yeah, you see, that doesn't look good right there.
Red flag.
Here we come. Somebody gets loose back in here. Yikes.
Joe Nemechek in the 01 car.
Was it from contact from Stewart?
Somebody got into the back of somebody. We've got to look at it again. Somebody poked somebody coming out of 4 right there and turned them.
Well, either Nemechek got loose and lost his momentum, or
is that Tony behind him?
Hard from that angle to tell which came first.
And then Joe goes down and gets in the quarter panel, the right rear quarter panel of Kevin Harvick. Not of Joe's fault, though. There was nothing he could do, Matt.
And we caught up with Kevin Harvick. Kevin, a lot of frustration boiling over.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Joe Nemechek's supposed to be the guy that never does nothing. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm tired of Joe Nemechek, you know, acting like he doesn't do nothing. And it may not have been his fault, but after Daytona and I should be fired and all that, he can take that and show it where the sun don't shine, baby.
Full moon Saturday night. And this was Harvick walking away from the car with a steely gaze toward Joe Nemechek as the accident unfolded.
The replays thus far inconclusive as to whether Nemechek's car got loose and was hit by Stewart, or whether there was contact that precipitated the spin. But the result, 9 or so cars were pretty badly damaged.
Pretty smart guys. They don't take their helmets off till they get to kind of growling at each other. You know, the Winston, I think every year you can look back and we have these kind of altercations. Let's see what happens here. Joe's right there in front of Tony. You know, that just looks like Tony got in the back of Joe. I don't see Joe's car moving much. I don't see anything going on there. Look at it. You know, you got to continue to look at it, because every time you look at it, you're going to see something different. When you got this many cars involved, got to kind of keep looking at it until you can pinpoint.
If you compare the position of Nemechek's car to Harvick's car on the racetrack, there might have been a time when Joe's car had a little wiggle and then got straightened out, and that might have taken some of the momentum from Nemechek and brought Stewart to it.
I don't know, but those were hard licks. I know that. Golly.
Kevin Harvick's car is absolutely destroyed. We're riding with him here.
Well, there's only 3 people that really know what happened. That's Kevin Harvick, Joe Nemechek, and Tony Stewart. Matt's caught up with Tony.
Again, 3 wide, headed toward the inner loop, and folks, that won't work even 2 wide. No, there goes Strimmy through the grass. He's going around in front of these guys. Oh, man. Jeff Gordon gets a piece of it. So does Kevin Harvick. Harvick got Carl Edwards right there into the side of Jeff Gordon. Strimmy trying to get it fired, and we will have a
right side damage, rear damage on the screen here, Roy.
Yeah, a lot of debris down there. They're going to have to clean it up.
Guys, get ready to cut the bumper cover off, and right front damage. The splitter's broke.
Yeah, Harvick got the worst of that.
Well, what a year it's been for Richard Childress Racing and Kevin Harvick outside the top 20.
What the hell were those guys doing?
Yeah, sometimes you wonder that as a driver. Just what
everything ready, guys. We're going to need some sheet metal for the left front fender.
See what happens. You see Strimmy gets off into the grass. That's never very good. Just loses total traction as he tries to come back onto the pavement, spins around in front of these guys. Casey Mears just snuck by. Gordon couldn't quite get by, and then Harvick into the right front of David Strimmy.
Now watch Jeff Gordon's viewpoint here. Watch Mears get by.
Right here, you think Jeff Gordon's missed this, barely gets a little bit of contact, thinks he's okay, and then he gets hit by the 29 right behind the right front wheel.
Well, Carl Edwards did a nice job to keep the nose of his car out of that catch fence.
I thought he had gathered a part of this.
Slow it down, slow it down, keep it left. Come on. Just clear right. Stay in the middle here.
See, Strimmy was trying to make a pass there on Brian Vickers. He just miscalculated and got into the inner loop a little too fast and shot him through the grass.
The 2 most heavily damaged cars, a 12.
A little dicey down the back straightaway. Cars get a little bit loose and crazy as they get the end of the back straightaway.
I mean, do they think it's 10 to go?
Trouble. Here we go. Here we go.
Jimmy Johnson got turned, and they pile up behind him.
14:48. I mean, the whole crowd. There's a 10.
Wow.
Lord have mercy. There you go.
5th caution flag of the day. 7-time series champ Johnson. Clint Boyer is in it. There's Jimmy's Chevrolet all torn up, and he's climbing out. Now watch Jimmy Johnson outside, 2nd row.
Oh, they got 4 wide. What happened was the 1 car, he snuck to the outside of the 48 getting into turn 3, and the 6 tried to go to the inside. Just not enough room to make it 4 wide right there.
And Mike, I know you won't, the cars are the most difficult to hang on to at the end of that back straightaway.
McMurray's got a big run off of turn 2, giving him a nice shove down the back straightaway. You see the momentum going forward. Now, look, Jimmy just barely clears the 6 as the 1 makes a little contact. When that happens, it shoves Jimmy a little bit to the left. 1 starts to go to the outside. There's just no room to go 4 wide as the nose of the 6 with Trevor Bayne was inside the 48. Big impact right there. DJ Kennington getting into Jimmy Johnson as well.